Com. We're on the line this morning with Philip Martell. He is the superintendent of the River Valley School District, and our conversation this morning is brought to you by Marcus & Mack, voted best personal injury law firm in the Best of Indiana County contest. Marcus & Mack, a law firm representing injured people. Mr. Martell, good morning to you.
Good morning, sir.
Hey, it's good to have you with us here today. This was a pretty big deal here, this celebration for CCAC and their education, innovation, and training with the U.S. Secretary of Education there, huh?
You know, it was a great opportunity, to be with Secretary Cardona. Again, I had the opportunity to meet him with Dr. Biden at the White House, during the summer. But then Secretary Sue came in, the Labor Secretary as well. It's an awesome feat when everybody's on the same page. It's even better when, we were the only school district invited to come down and participate, and announce our partnership with CCAC as part of this event.
Yeah, so Automation Engineering is the name of the newest program that you're bringing to the STEAM Academy as those educational growth area, the STEAM Academy, continues for River Valley. What is that program all about? Who are we going to be training here?
That program really encompasses a number of different areas that are actually, have a workforce need in our country. Engineering, artificial intelligence, robotics, manufacturing. 4 crucial areas that, and that's really what CCAC's done with their innovation program, combined it on a higher level. But we're going to touch those 4 areas that have a high need. So it's going to give our students a plethora of experience across, but give them numerous off-roads and on-ramps and off-ramps to one of those 4 areas as well.
And it's a bit of a partnership with CCAC, isn't it? They helped you to design the program.
They did, and we, like all of our programs here, done with depth and fidelity, we, align it with a higher ed partner, but also with industry credentials. The NC3 industry credential is the gold standard, within that profession. So it's a national credential, kind of like the CompTIA with, cybersecurity. CCAC had that existing partnership. They also had an apprenticeship agreement with the German American Chamber of Commerce, which is now one of our partners as well.
Mm-hmm. One of the interesting things to me about it is when you're in on the ground floor of innovative programs. IUP just had their thing with the College of Osteopathic Medicine last night. It's not an easy process to get something like this going, to get the accreditation that you need to design the program, to get the professionals that you'll need to teach the courses. It is a big undertaking, isn't it?
You touched on a couple very key important things. It is a huge undertaking because it is crucial that you have the right individual, and we're very fortunate enough to have Jonathan Taylor, who has had an extensive background in a number of different areas, within district, kind of like Missy Malanik on our cybersecurity. So the hurdle was overcome. But then our board believes, in the vision that I've laid out for the district. On our last meeting, they voted to invest over $300,000 to get this program started. And because it's not it's a cheap program in a sense because you have some high-end equipment with robotics and different things. But, correlating that, Todd, down to what we're doing, now aligning like all of our other programs, students starting earlier. So our feeder classes will begin again in 6th grade for this program, which we're already doing some amazing things with robotics thanks to Mr. Taylor and Mr. Fonyak, but kind of now tying that whole thing together and creating that pathway potentially, for a student to go on starting earlier in their career as well, which we know is a key.
I'm interested as well in the whole idea of the STEAM Academy, one program building upon another, and then the overall picture as well. When other organizations, other educational institutions see what you're able to do with that STEAM Academy and the number of different programs that you're implementing, I know there's the temptation to go a little too fast, maybe faster than you want to. But if you do things right and you have good partners that are going to help you along the way, it becomes a real, I've used this phrase a couple of times this morning in other areas. It's a game changer, isn't it?
It really is. And you're right. We are not going too fast because, so the bulk of our students are obviously within our district. So next year with this program, it's the only one we're starting because we knew there was an interest because we identified our students. We involved heavily with the RISAC, which identifies each student's strengths, interests, and values. But it is a game changer because it gives that opportunity that otherwise would not be given. And when you see the next series of our videos, it'll be on our website coming out, and they're being driven by our students. And they really talk passionately about having the opportunity that they would not have somewhere else, or to start earlier, or have to wait to go to college to get some of that training that they're getting today. Mm-hmm. It brought tears to my eyes because it was powerful because it's being driven by them. It really makes you, and you talk about how great an experience is to be a superintendent. That's what makes it all worthwhile.
Think back to the idea of the STEAM Academy and the original vision. We're going to have this course, that course, and maybe this number of courses that are up and running. Is it everything that you thought it might be? Is it even a little bit more?
It really is a little bit more. It's funny you said that because I was honored a few weeks ago by the Pittsburgh Technology Council for an Education Innovator Award. And during my speech, I said that, when Rick Harper and he talked me into becoming superintendent, our board president, we started down this pathway. It was a great idea, but looking at it today, to answer your question, it's way more than I anticipated. And that's really what keeps me going every day, because every day is a new day. We just had a session on how the cybersecurity is just evolving every day. And it's really with all these programs. We owe it to our students each year to bring the newest technology, the newest trends, the newest educational component to this as it continues to evolve. Because if not, you're doing a disservice to your students. I really believe that, because changes happen so quickly.
Philip Martell is with us this morning on the line. He's the superintendent of the River Valley School District. Let's get into the hallways of the buildings and start at the high school, where there are so many things that are happening right now. I know that the last night's basketball game was a great atmosphere, and here come the basketball playoffs, and those extracurriculars are so important in the life of a school. It's great to see that much energy and enthusiasm, isn't it?
We do, and it is, and our students have just become engaged. They support each other across all of our extracurricular activities. I mean, just not only basketball is one component. We had a wrestler that had gained his 100th pin. They support each other. We have more clubs that are looking to evolve. We want to give these students these opportunities to do these things, as they come through the system. But, yeah, it's just an energy of excitement midway through the year, basically. And as we head to the spring, it's just going to continue to get better.
Yeah, it's going to continue to pile up, too. There will be tons of things. I know the kids are looking forward to maybe getting outdoors for a little bit of recreation time and education time as well. And the spring road trips and field trips will get going. And it's a really, really busy time coming up for an educator as you get through the month of January on into February and March.
Correct. No doubt about it. Just so we're heading into some more testing as well. But yeah, the kids are going to get a little bit, as the weather starts to turn here, hopefully soon. We get them involved. They can get outdoors more. We try to promote that as much as we can.
Yeah, absolutely. On the elementary level, you mentioned earlier how the STEAM Academy, which people might think is only for high school students, the STEAM Academy, that preparation for that actually begins very early in a child's life. And I know the elementary schools, they have to play a key role in really the success of the STEAM Academy, don't they?
They do, and that's why, we're seeing some of that residual impact from COVID. So with just with reading and some different things where they are seeing the impact of what we went through for this couple of years. So we're addressing some of those needs of our students, those remediation, those resources, because if they don't have those fundamentals taught, we can do all this, and the STEAM Academy gives the greatest thing since sliced bread. But if students can't read and they can't do math, it really goes back to this Common Core, then it's all for nothing. So we're making an emphasis, trying to continue to make sure we bolster our fundamental academic skills. But also, next year we're going to unveil our computer science framework, which will be K-5. It'll be the only one of its sort in our county for sure. That will also be coming to our rotation for our elementary students to start to think, differently about everything that they do, to be able to solve those problems in a bigger level, but just giving them those foundations, even as something as simple as keyboarding. We've got away with our fingers in the phones. Keyboarding, even at that early age, because if we move to online testing, that's a component of it. So it's just tying everything together, as much as you can.
When you introduce new educational pathways for the kids, obviously it's one thing, but for the faculty, there has to be buy-in from the faculty, and there has to be enthusiasm about teaching either new material or in a new way.
No question. I look at our staff at times like any of us have done something for 20 years. At some point in time, you just get, you start going through the process. Our staff has been reinvigorated with all the new initiatives and potential changes because they know public education in this country has to change. We can't just keep doing the same thing we did for 50 years. It's not working. And it shows just in the need in the workforce, how we're behind, worldwide. So they've been reinvigorated by the fact that vision I've laid out and said we need to change. We owe this to our children. We need to prepare them not just from an Allegheny County and an Indiana County perspective, but a worldwide global economy to be able to compete. And having their buy-in, has been incredible. And teachers work hard, and we're very fortunate with our new collective bargaining agreement with our teachers. They're compensated very well. But I feel like we owe it to them to do that because they're on the front lines every day supporting our students.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So things going along smoothly at River Valley. It'll have its glitches like every other school district, but it sounds like you got them all under control. Mr. Martell, thanks for the visit this morning.
Absolutely, Todd. You take care of yourself, and I look forward to talking to you in the future.
There you go. You too. It is the voice of Indiana County. It's WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, and WCCSradio.com.